Without further ado.
Top 5 tight ends in this class, according to our guy, Chris Simms. Number 5, what do you got?
Well, number 5, I'm going off the radar here a little bit, all right? And not really off the radar. It's just a little bit of, I usually am not too much of a projection-based guy.
Okay.
But James Mitchell from Virginia Tech is a guy I'm going to put my name to right now. I'm going to be along with this guy. He tore his ACL last year.
Yeah.
He only played 2 football games. To me, here is one of the few guys in the draft that I go, kind of has it all. He's one of the few.
6'3", 255. That's a good place to start.
Good place to start. He is one of the more compact, thicker tight ends we have in the class. Most of these guys are 6'5" and weigh a little less than he does. So as soon as you turn on the film, you go, oh, this guy looks like he's got a little power element to his football game. But then as soon as you watch him run and catch a ball, you go, whoa, this guy moves a little different. All right, this is good to see. So that's what jumped out to me more than anything. I think in the pass game, route running was towards the top of all these guys as far as his ability to get in and out of breaks. There's only one other guy I thought that was in his class or similar to him, and we're going to get to him after this. It's the next guy coming up.
Okay.
All right, so it was special, I thought, in the pass game. I thought it was special with the ball in his hands. Out of this group here, that we're going to talk about, we got a few guys that can do some things after the catch, but this was to a different level of, oh, wait, he could catch a shallow cross and maybe run around the corner on a linebacker or safety and turn it upfield. Or he can catch a pass and turn it upfield and break somebody's ankles and break an arm tackle, and you go, whoa, we got 12 extra yards there.
Yeah.
So that's where I really liked him. The route running was good. The blocking wasn't like, oh, my gosh, he's a killer, but it was good.
Yeah.
It was good to where with some of these guys, I'm going to go, you have to be careful about where you put this guy as blocking situations.
Right.
Not with this guy. This guy, you could put his hand down at the end of the line of scrimmage and go, he's going to block. He's willing. He tries. He's got, there is some physicality to him. Is he going to be Gronk? No. He's not going to be that. But you at least can play him at the traditional tight end spot. But he only got to play 2 games this year. It is a projection. But I thought with this class and as talented as I thought he was, and I really think that if he got to play a full year, this would probably be the number 1 tight end.
6'3", 255.
Yeah.
I mean, just his size suggests he could play attached there next to the tackle. You just described him as a pretty good blocker, not great.
Right.
So you're comfortable.
Gets the job done.
Comfortable playing him right there.
Yeah.
Obviously, all these offensive coordinators want to do 10 different things with their tight ends.
Yeah.
If you want to split him out wide,
You do.
next to a good receiver, or have trips on one side and send him out by himself to the boundary,
right?
How would he do that?
That he's going to be good at that. That's where you're going to like him. That's where you're getting a tight end plus here, because you're going, wait, one-on-one, there's some quickness here to where you go, if they match him up with a linebacker, that linebacker is going to be in deep doo-doo.
That's a good gold star next to somebody who's 6'3", 255.
I know. It is. This is definitely one of the specimens of jump out on this class right here. And I would be interested to see where it would all shake out for this kid if he was healthy. But to your point, I think that is real, and that's why I like the value of him. You could split him out and go, hey, work that safety or that linebacker. He can be in the slot. He's plenty quick enough there. Or even vertically to just go up the middle and split 2 safety defense, Paul. And then you can feel comfortable about, oh, wait, now it's, 2nd and 4. We want to run the ball here. Can we put him traditionally at the tight end of the line of scrimmage, and can he hold his own?
Right.
Yes, he can hold his own.
Is the injury he suffered to end his season early last fall your biggest concern, or is there something else out there that
No,
worries
it's
you?
really not. It's just I want to see it. I just, for the sake of the exercise of the podcast here and all that, I want to be able to talk about guys that do this. I thought about making him an honorable mention, but then I went, you know what, the class is not that strong, and I feel this strongly about this guy that I'm going to throw him there. And, tight end, slot receiver, single him out, H-back, Kyle Juszczyk, kind of fullback off the end, second tight end off of maybe a bigger blocking tight end. He's going to be able to do all that. So I think it's that versatility plus the pure talent that, opens my eyes to him.
A couple of things he's done here really kind of speak to the overall athleticism you've described. Wildcat quarterback his senior year in high school, long time ago, just high school. But I mean, I would read that and be like, okay,
yes,
kid's an athlete,
no doubt, and smart. You can tell he knows kind of where to sit in zones. The quarterback scrambles. He knows where to go.
Right.
Because
I mean, you got to be smart to play quarterback.
Well,
look at this desk.
Yeah,
look at these two guys.
Quarters, right? You don't have to be smart, but usually at least the quarterback has some good natural football instincts. That's where I would say. More times than not.
And 16 yards per catch. That's very good.
I mean,
I know it was in the ACC. That's still very good.
Yeah, you're right. It's still very good.
Yes.
I don't care what conference it is, and again, this is Virginia Tech. They're not necessarily known for their high-flying pass attack. We don't know any other quarterbacks that go to school there.
Right.
So yes, it is impressive. He is a really good football player, like I said, and I'll be interested to see where he gets drafted. It helps him in the aspect of the early season injury is going to make teams feel comfortable about him. But I think all in all that, I like the talent. You could tell.
Clearly, yeah.
And it's a guy that I do think maybe could have been the first guy off the board if he got the full year and had the production and numbers to kind of back it up.
Bruce Arians played quarterback at Bot Tech, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Well, see, instincts, not that smart. Got it? Bruce, I'm joking. Bruce knows that. Bruce is the man. He could take that joke.
James Mitchell at number 5, Virginia Tech, bringing us to number 4.
Number 4, Isaiah Likely from Coastal Carolina. Now, this is... You want a space tight end.
I do.
This is your guy.
Okay.
Here's your space tight end, right?
Space, like you split him out wide.
Split him out wide, have him a little off the edge of the normal tight end position.
H-back.
H-back. You don't want anything to do with this guy with his hand down on the ground in the position. That's not going to happen.
This is a wide receiver.
This is a big wide receiver, basically, we're talking about. Wants to get in the way as a blocker, but that's about it. There's not going to be any more than that. But within saying that, this is also the most gifted pass-catching tight end in this class. Okay. I mean, what he does in the pass, he runs routes like a wide receiver.
If you already have a tight end, you can attach and go up against the outside linebacker DN. Makes a guy like this pretty attractive.
Exactly right. So it's going to be a little bit of flavor of the month, right? You're definitely, if you're looking for a tight end and you want the traditional sense, no, this Isaiah Likely is not your guy. If you got your traditional, first and second down, big, strong tight end, great, because now this is the guy you want as your second tight end. This can be your Aaron Hernandez to your Gronk, right? I mean, not to say he's Aaron Hernandez, but the way he runs routes and gets up the field, what he does with the ball in his hands, I mean, to me was clearly the best in all areas considered passing game. You talk about being split out one-on-one. I think he's a real red zone threat that way. He knows how to use his body, 50-50 catches. You see that. It's very natural to him.
12 receiving touchdowns last year, first among tight ends.
There you go. They used him like that there, where they went, wait, we're on the 4? Receivers, you go over there. We're going to put this big fucker over here, and we're going to let him run a slant or fake the slant, run the fade. But, wide receiver-like feet off the ball, off the line of scrimmage, and really wide receiver type suddenness coming in and out of the breaks. And then I think you add that to incredible hands. Incredible. I think he had the best hands, or even at least made the most wow catches to me out of everybody in this class. Contested was good, and balls thrown outside the target range and him still bringing them in and almost not even breaking stride. Handful of one-handed catches in front and in back. And it's wait, was that one? Was that one hand? Did he do that easy? And just that? I mean, it's literally pull it out, pull it in, and just keep running. He was a very natural player in the pass game for sure.
This is a fun description to take in because he sounds awesome at one thing, receiving.
Yes.
And don't even think about utilizing him as a blocker. So it's super high on one end.
Yes.
And not so much on the other end that you want. So this question from, I'm going to call him Harry G. Gascoigne, Mr. North Jersey. What would you say? Gascoigne.
Yeah.
Gascoigne? We'll say Harry G.
Gascoigne?
Could be.
I'm not sure.
Pete like that one. But Harry says, do you think Isaiah Likely is a target for a team late second, early third?
I think that could be clear. I would say third. I wrote third down. Late second could be a thing. But I think more than likely, I felt like it was a third round with the situation you painted. We already got the other one. We got the big traditional tight end. Now let's start to put some teams in a bind here. And that to me is what he is slot receiver. Oh wait, tight end to the right. He's the second tight end, right? That's off the line of scrimmage. all right, that's like right on the edge, right off the line of scrimmage, right on the edge of the tight end. So now you got 2 tight ends to that side. All right, hey, guy with the down hand, you get the big guy. I got the safety support guy over there, right? That's, to me, what he is perfectly. And, the H-back, fullback stuff, he's going to be able to do all of that. I mean, he's a natural at adjusting to the ball, turning upfield, making something happen. So if he was catching a ball in the flat like a fullback, he's a natural in that department, all of it.
Where some offensive coordinator who's creative in the passing game is going to be happy his GM.
No question.
Took this guy. Okay,
Yes.
Number 3, we're going out to the Pac-12.
We're going back to the Pac-12, and we're along the same similar lines here. We're on it's awesome pass game and blocking. Greg Dulcich.
I think it's Dulcich.
Dulcich. Excuse me, Greg. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm horrible with English. We know that. Dulcich. Okay. Dulcich would rival Isaiah Likely, and our guy Mitchell in the pass game. Dulcich is real in the pass game.
Yeah.
First off, I mean, his size at 6'4", 250. He's got a great, radius.
I called his first game this year.
Yeah.
He looks longer than that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree. Looks longer
He
than what
looks
he
like
is.
a 6'5", 260 kind of guy.
Agreed. Well, he's very high cut.
Yeah.
He's got long legs, and his legs got a little thickness to them. It's not like some skinny, pass-catching tight end. Let's take a guy like, Mike Gesicki out of Penn State, who was also a second-rounder.
Yeah.
This is what I see this guy as a little bit. It's the same type of player. Big, long, can run down the field, can adjust to the ball, right? And compared to Gesicki, I think he's got a little more thickness and power to him, but the run blocking, like we're talking about here, it's just, again, it's a little better than Isaiah Likely, all right? But it's assignment blocking. When I say assignment blocking, it's just like, coach just told me to go get in the way of this guy right here in this way. And that's all it is. So he's not bad in space, wide receiver screens, stuff like that. He's okay. But when you put his hand down, it's a little underwhelming. He's not going to be a killer that way for sure.
I saw his name on your list, and I've been reading about him. I thought back to that first game. I think they beat up on Hawaii maybe at the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
But I remember from his stats last year, I don't know the exact number, but I think his yards per catch for tight end might have been best in the Pac-12 or maybe best in the nation. Almost 18 yards per catch this year as well. In an offense, the quarterback was inconsistent, and I know it's not an NFL-type offense at all.
No, it's not. I mean, it's exactly. It's college again.
How difficult was that evaluation?
Well,
then?
yeah, it's a spread offense. It's it's a seam route every now and then. It's a shallow cross. It's a deep cross. I mean, that's really all you're going to see for the most part. So yeah, you're not going to get to see traditional tight end hand down, block down on a defense end, and the backside guards pulling around. Like, you don't see any of that. Of course not. No, but he pops and jumps out as a pass game receiver. He really does. Again, I think the route running's real, and like you talked about, the size is real and plays bigger than that, but also plays faster than his 4.69 speed too. That was the other thing I wrote down. 4.69, impressive speed at 250 in the combine, but you turn on the film, he's running away from a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And not only just running it to where you go, oh, he's just a big straight line tight end, and once he opens up, he goes in a straight direction. No. I'm very impressed with his ability to run routes.
Yeah.
Very impressed with the ball in his hands and making people miss. Stopping, putting the brakes on, restarting in a hurry, stopping. Somebody's got a hold of his waist, runs through the arm tackle that way. So, again, he rivals Isaiah Likely and James Mitchell as far as the athlete in the pass game for sure, except I would say he's a bigger target in the pass game than those two guys are.
I thought he got to where he was going. Just, again, one game from the press box, and his 40 time, it is what it is, but whether it was a seam or a deep shallow, I thought he got to where his quarterback needed him to be
in a hurry,
really quickly.
I know.
It jumped out.
The get off is real.
Yeah.
He's very good at the line of scrimmage too, at weaving through the trash, releases, whatever. But that's one of the reasons I thought the 4.69. I went, man, guy plays faster than that. Really, I mean, he's got some real explosion and acceleration to his game. Let alone route running wise. I mean, it was pretty special. I'm not going to say it's as good as Isaiah Likely, right? But it's really damn good for a tight end at that size. Again, he's he understands how to attack people. He understands how to attack people, lean them a little bit. You know, oh, the guy thinks I'm going inside. Well, I'm going to lean him inside just a little bit more, and I'm going to sell it with some body language. Oh, now he's really leaning. Boom, stick my foot in the ground. I came out, created separation, and he can explode out of those breaks. So that's where I found him really impressive. He's a player in the pass game. The run game is going to be a question.
And you know how this works. I mean, teams that are thinking about using maybe a second or third round pick on a player, they're getting to know not only the film but his total story. I think a big part of his story, former walk-on.
Yes, right.
Had to put on 40 pounds to play at this level.
Right.
What's that tell you about his evaluation?
Well, it tells me that it's like this is just like a raw, like totally still getting used to the position. It's just an athlete who's figured out, oh, wait, I can play tight end. So there might be more to go here as far as what he can do.
Upside.
Yeah. I mean, that to me is what that would say for sure.
I always think with former walk-ons too, no matter the position, I know it's a popular word, but there's a grit. There's a real toughness and kind of want to and prove you wrong that they never really
fight
leave
against
behind.
the odds. Yeah, I agree with that too. You're right. There definitely
Worth
is something
a little
to
something.
that. Definitely, there's an edge or a chip on the shoulder forever.
Yeah,
after that, I would agree with that. It's always trying to prove yourself. You know, Dulcich looks like Weird Al Yankovic a little bit if you see him without his helmet on, which is definitely going to make you laugh a little bit.
And the hair.
Yeah, the hair too to go with it.
Thank you for that.
You know, along the lines of other players I've seen, Zach Ertz came to mind. You know, Zach Ertz, I would say Zach Ertz coming out of Stanford, you know, he wasn't the physical running specimen this kid was.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little bit better blocker, but not much. You know, it's again, Zach Ertz is not famous for his blocking either.
Right.
You know, to where, this guy's got such real talent and size, you know, and the size is a thing here. You know, even though he's 6'4" and Isaiah Likely's 6'4" too, like you talked about, he plays a lot bigger than Isaiah Likely, let alone I get to see it against Division I competition, you know, on the regular or at least better competition. But because of the long legs and the long arms and everything, it just seemed like he had a much bigger catch radius too. Even when he was covered, it seemed easier, more natural him to fight through the contact to catch those balls than maybe a guy that's similarly as tall as he is.
Working through Chris's top 5 tight ends in this draft class. Number 5 was James Mitchell, Virginia Tech. 4, Isaiah Likely, Coastal Carolina. We just talked about his third tight end, Greg Dulcich, out of UCLA. Bringing us to number 2.
Number 2, Trey McBride, Colorado State. Yep, Trey McBride. You know, again, we're erring more on, again, a pass tight end here, once again, for sure. You know, along the lines of really the other guys we talked about. You know, I would say almost like to paint a picture, Trey McBride's game's a little in between, you know, a James Mitchell and a Greg Dulcich. It's almost a combination there a little bit. Or maybe I should even say Isaiah Likely and James Mitchell. That might be a little bit better. Very impressive in the pass game. You know, there's some real shit to this kid when he gets the ball in his hands. You know, he wants to run you over. He wants to stiff arm you to the ground. You know, he wants to, you know, drag you for 4 yards and then let you know about it when he gets up. You know, he's a natural in the pass game. I think that's the one thing I really like. And, you know, really good at getting off the ball. You know, whether it's a linebacker over him, a safety, any of that. So his releases were phenomenal. That for sure. You know, I talked about the route running. You know, he's the go-to guy for their offense.
Clearly.
I mean, he's going over the middle of the field. People are holding him, pushing him. He just fights through it and continues to run down the field and get a 20-yard gain. That's where he was really impressive. You got to see bright lights on him and still see him get open on a consistent basis throughout the season.
Used to being the guy, which to me says that, I mean, he was dealing with, I know he's a tight end, that they often get a safety or nickelback. He was probably dealing with the other team's best corner at Colorado State. Won the Mackey Award as a top tight end. 90 catches for 1,100 yards.
Yeah.
90 catches.
Yeah. He's ready to produce in the pass game. That's again, with this group that's not complete, right?
Yeah.
It was stuff like that kind of put me over the edge with him. And Paul, I think when you add wait, this guy like knows what it's like to be the go-to guy, which I think there is some value to that, especially at the tight end position. But I think the other thing too is, you know, compared to the other guys we've talked about, it's not that impressive. He's a better blocker than Dulcich or Likely, that's for sure.
Okay.
But it's not wow. It's not. You can trust him with the hand down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But if it's Cameron Jordan lining up across him, you're going to go, oh, this might be an issue for him this week, or he's got to get better at this before we can trust him at it.
What made him the best of these three? None of the three tight ends, 4, 3, and 2, you love as a blocker.
Yeah.
What makes him better? Is it his effort? Is it the amount of times they lined up in a position to do so?
Yeah.
What was it?
It's both of those. It's a little bit of the results, which weren't like, oh, wow, this is so amazing, but they were good to where you went, okay, he got it done. You know, he got pushed back a yard, but his guy didn't make the bye. He somehow and fought him off to where the running back got to run around the edge, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
You know, so again, you know, I don't want to say it's more of a blocker than the other two guys I talked about.
Yeah.
It's maybe a little less than James Mitchell, really altogether, as far as end of the line of scrimmage, hand down type blocking, but it was good enough for me to go, okay, if he has to be that guy, you can do it. And then he had the versatility to me to I mean, his body and the way he's made up, it really reminds me of Kyle Juszczyk of the San Francisco 49ers.
Been playing forever. It's
and
great.
I worked out Juszczyk when I was working for New England, and he was at Harvard for his pro day. So I've seen that body. I saw Trey McBride. I interviewed him at the Combine. You know, and they literally, like, they're the same guy almost, the way they're built and the way they stand and walk and everything that way.
There's a lot of these same guys, a lot of these issues. It's not just college evaluation to the NFL. I was at USFL training camp last week, and I was right next to the huddle. I'm watching this tight end. Basically looks like a receiver. He's like 6'5", 230, split out wide most of the time. They brought him in this run situation to block. Wasn't doing it very well. He got called over to the side. Tight end coach put his arm around him. I was close enough to hear him. Basically, he's like, listen, we're not going to do this that often. You don't got to maul that guy. Just breathe on him.
Exactly.
Just breathe on him, get him out of the way, then we'll split you back out wide.
Yeah.
This is a tight end thing for now in any league, it seems like.
I think so. It's become, you know, a big-time position. And I think
but
some
just
of these...
this concern or this knowledge, okay, he's not a good blocker. We got to live with him anyway. How are we going to do that as an offense?
Yeah, you're going to have to find ways. You know, I mean, you know, I just want to get you a line. You know, one of the things, like, I wouldn't want to make a living with this guy at the end of my line of scrimmage.
There you are.
To your point.
So many of these guys could be described that way.
No, definitely not. You know, yeah, it's better than Dulcich. It's better than Likely, but that ain't saying much. That's why this group's it's a little incomplete that way. You know, yeah, in the ideal world, you want him to be the space tight end again.
Yeah.
And he's got a little of the run game stuff. And but you know, ultimately, like what we're talking about in those 2nd and 5 situations, I want him to be the guy off the edge of the run blame tight end. Like here's Gronk, and now he's right to his right edge, right off his right glute muscle there, like ready to block there too.
His
like
right
we talked
ass.
about, right off his right ass. Gronk, you get the defensive end.
Yeah.
I'll get the linebacker or the safety down in support. That's to me what he is. But yeah, you don't want to make a living that way.
Just don't be the biggest liability in the run game.
No, and I think that's where he'll get away with it is he kind of does what you're talking about. He just gets in the way, does his assignment, does what he has to do that way, but he's really impressive in the pass game. The quicks and twitch are real, right? To get free of defenders off the ball or at the top of routes. But yeah, he's tight end / H-back. This isn't go down the middle, you know, break a tackle and drag 3 guys for 5 more yards like Mark Bavaro or Gronkowski. That's not the kind of guy we're talking about here.
You like him better in the 2nd or 3rd?
I think that this is like end of 2nd, early 3rd-ish there, where, yeah, I would say somewhere between 50 and 70 would be my guess. That's what I would say for Trey McBride. But again, I think he's the guy that you're going to look for to be like, all right, we got a traditional tight end.
Right.
Now we got the tight end to play with and do some other cool crap with.
Trey McBride, Colorado State, won the Mackey Award as the top tight end this past fall, number 2 tight end. Who do we see as the number 1 best tight end in this class?
The number 1 best tight end in this class, who's got some of the least production, and that's where just production don't mean jack diddly squat, is Jeremy Ruckert from Ohio State. I have no doubt that this is the best tight end in this draft.
Because?
Because he's the only one that is good in all areas and everything, to where put him down with the hand of the line of scrimmage, you're going to be just fine. You know, put him at fullback and you need him to smash the middle linebacker and really hit him, he's going to do that. He's one of the most physical at the point of attack that way, in my opinion. Has the body and legs and the power to, back it up, which I really like. And then, even though there's not the catches or anything like that, really one of the more impressive, I thought, route runners, split him out. Yeah, he didn't get the ball, but damn, that was a good route. It was a great release. Has real speed to threaten people up the seam or down the middle of a cover 2 safeties, things like that. To me, this is a guy that the talent shows itself on the film. You just got to look for it. You can't look for it. You're not going to see it in catches and everything. You got to watch a real game and go, let me watch all these plays he goes out in the routes and they throw the ball to Olave, not him, and see how he's getting open as he's doing those type of things.
Or Jackson Smith in Jigba, I believe it is. I mean, they've got a lot of guys catching the ball, but there's always the other side, and I know the other side gets played in these draft rooms as well. So if someone says, okay, if he's that good, they've thrown the hell out of the ball at Ohio State. I know they've got good receivers, but if they throw it 40 times a game, it's not like you're evaluating someone who looks good who plays tight end at Wisconsin, where, okay, they're blocking all the time. Ohio State's throwing it first.
They are.
So, someone who wanted to say, why didn't he get more balls? I want to see this as a negative. How do you talk about it?
I think the biggest thing is just an offense that doesn't really understand the tight end, or I don't want to say understand it, just doesn't really need it. Doesn't have to go to that playbook.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wait, we got a first-round receiver, got a first-round running back. Yeah. Hey, said Hut. Oh, wait, we'll just throw to you. Yeah. Oh, wait, next play, hey, first-round receiver, we're going to throw a screen to you. Now you go, said Hut. I mean, so, they have so many damn good football players. Yeah. It is a spread offense again, which, again, is not made for the tight end that way. But, I'll go back to something we talk about a lot with quarterbacks and stuff. Like, if you don't think we put Jeremy Ruckert on the Colorado State team that Trey McBride that we just talked about.
You would have had 91 catches instead of 90?
Right. If you don't think those results would have been every bit as good, that's to me where I just go, no doubt. This guy can do all that stuff. He's every bit as fast as Trey McBride. Looks like he's actually faster to me on film. Has more size. As a route runner, a pure route runner, this guy's f***ing impressive. Like, he's got real feet. So the route running was right up there with, I'd go, it's better than Dulcich, the route running. It's right there with Isaiah Likely as far as best route runner. I really looked at him and went, wait, I feel like I'm watching Freiermuth from Penn State last year.
And I wanted to get you there. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's fair to compare him to Kyle Pitts, last year's number one tight end.
Nobody can be
this
that.
This is not a top 10, top 5 pick. But you compare him to Freiermuth of last year, who went in the second round. Yeah. What do you see?
Yeah, I think that's the kind of guy I look at, where I think he's actually a little bit better than Freiermuth as a blocker, and maybe a hair less as a pass receiver. I don't even know if he's a hair less, or if it's just the fact that I didn't get to see it as much as I'd like. And Freiermuth, he got to see it to where you could feel comfortable. But I feel in my gut from watching all his skills and everything he could do that he could be exactly what Freiermuth, I keep bludgeoning that.
Yeah.
What he could do with Pittsburgh. And I bet you watch his role will continue to improve with Pittsburgh too. But to what you said earlier, you split this kid out, and it's 3rd and 5, and they get the right, and you want to throw a slant route, he's going to win, and you're going to get the slant, right?
You see that a lot.
He's definitely going to be able to do all of that stuff. Fake the slant, break back out, run the fade route down the sideline. He's got it. So to me, this was the guy that I went, ooh, there's some elite movements and speed and route running from the guy, and then he's the only guy where I went, well, I really trust him in every area on the team and everything. He can be the first tight end, the second tight end guy, hand of the line of scrimmage, in the slot. He can do everything to where you're not going to have to worry about, oh, wait, no, hey, guys, get that tight end out of the game. We can't run that play with him. He can't do that.
Yeah.
You won't have to worry about that with Jeremy Ruckert. There is no limitation.
I'm going to give you 2 options here with which way you want to go, kind of understanding your number 1 tight end from Ohio State, Jeremy Ruckert, a little better.
Yeah.
Do you have an NFL veteran comp that you think he's like and why? Or would you like to picture him in an NFL offense with a coordinator you know well and talk about how he would work well in that system with these guys around him, with this guy calling plays?
Yeah, well, I don't know if there's I'm trying to think if there's a veteran guy that, one of the other names I wrote down, Dalton Schultz, right,
Nice.
of the Dallas Cowboys.
Catches all kinds of balls.
Right. So that to me is what we're talking about. And Dalton Schultz, if memory serves me correct, they didn't throw the ball a ton to him at Stanford either.
Right.
It was kind of the same thing. You kind of go
mid-round,
fourth, third, late third, somewhere there, right?
Good player.
Right. It was a good player. I mean, we did Notre Dame games and they played Stanford.
Good in the
I remember
NFL.
going, man, this guy's a damn good player.
Yeah.
But didn't get a ton of catches and all that. But that's to me what I see. But Dalton Schultz, right, was franchised this year by the Cowboys.
You would take him in the second round if you could right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would take him in the second round. You're gonna want to take this kid in the second round too. Yeah.
Early.
I would probably say mid. I don't think any of these guys will go. I think 45 will be the start. I think of Jeremy. Jeremy Ruckertville.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're going to be able to do and run everything within your offense with this guy. And if he gets around a guy that's Shanahan, McVay, McDaniels-ish, that really understands like how to use the tight end and the little nuances of that, he'll tear it up.
Pete, Kristen, let's go ahead and throw up now that we're through 1 through 5. There we go. Jeremy Ruckert, Ohio State 1. Trey McBride, Colorado State 2. Dulcich out of UCLA at 3. Likely Coastal Carolina 4. And we started out with James Mitchell, Virginia Tech 5.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.